Hello and welcome to this LinkedIn live chat. We're delighted to have you join us today. My name is Bamidele Salako, and I'm the Manager of Marketing and Communications at the Calgary Catholic Immigration Society, or CCIS as popularly known. CCIS is a non-profit, non-denominational agency committed to making immigration a positive experience for refugees, immigrants, and the community. We offer over 95 programs in 14 locations throughout Calgary and surrounding areas. We support all aspects of settlement and integration by offering programs and services in the areas of employment, community and development, resettlement and integration, health and wellness, and families and children. With over 450 staff collectively speaking more than 60 languages, we are the largest immigrant seven agency in the prairies and one of the top five in Canada. This live conversation is an extension of our employment services, which support the seamless integration of newcomers into the Canadian labor market. Today, we're discussing essential tips to help newcomers start their own business in Canada. And I'm thrilled to be hosting this conversation with my colleague, Bibiana Kala Matiz. Bibiana is the program coordinator for our Build Your Business Newcomer Entrepreneurship Program at CCIS. The program launched in July of 2022 and has supported over 80 newcomer entrepreneurs with starting their own businesses in Calgary. Now, through the program, Bibiana provides guidance and mentorship to aspiring entrepreneurs, helping them navigate the challenges of starting a business in a new country and culture. The program also connects newcomers with resources and networks in the Calgary business community, giving them the tools they need to succeed. Bibiana's passion for entrepreneurship and her experience as a business owner and consultant makes her an invaluable resource for newcomer entrepreneurs in Calgary. Bibiana, thank you so much for joining us today for this conversation.
Thank you very much, Bamidele, for that introduction. I'm super excited to be here and yeah, ready to start.
I'm super excited to hear all you have to share with us today. Now, to those who are joining us live, we encourage you to engage with us in the comment section. If you've got any questions for Bibiana, please feel free to ask them in the comments, and we'll do our very best to address as many of your questions as we can. So let's get this conversation going, Bibiana. According to Statistics Canada, immigrants own a significant and growing share of businesses in Canada. There was a data that showed that in 2019, immigrants owned 25.6%. That's over 25% of all private businesses in Canada. And immigrant-owned businesses generated over $117 billion in revenue, employing more than 2.9 million people in the same year, in 2019. I imagine that those numbers may have risen. These statistics highlight the important contributions that immigrant entrepreneurs make to the Canadian economy, and of course, the potential for newcomers to succeed as business owners in Canada. So, I'm a newcomer, for instance, and I'm encouraged by these stats, to venture into the deep waters of business ownership in Canada. Just where and how do I begin?
Okay, no, great question. And it's actually, yeah, one of the first questions we get when our clients contact us. And I may say, well, different for each one, but in general, you need to start with yourself and find the right resources in the city, in the area you are. But let me tell you something first. Like most of the people I talk to, and even when I was starting my first business here, I was very worried about, oh, what is the legal structure I need to take? What is the registration process, license permits, laws, regulations? Super important. And like this is key for our business, of course, but I will suggest to start with yourself first and with your business idea. So find out why you're in business. Why are you pursuing your idea? Work on that idea as well, right? Is that idea the right idea for this market? And something we tend to say in our class is don't get in love with your idea. Actually, I'm quoting here a facilitator. She always tell people, think from your client's perspective. Are you actually solving a problem, right? Is your idea providing the right solution for your potential customers? So that is kind of the first step. Find out where you are, why you want to do this, and if your idea is actually the right one for this market. Once you validate your idea, you do some customer discovery, you go talk to people and say, yes, definitely this is something important for this market. You need to build what we call here the MVP, the minimum viable product or service. So you start. We say once you validate your idea, you need to start. If you don't take action, it's just an idea, not a business. Once you start making money and working on that, you will have a business. So start working on that, work on your business model, and then you need to start thinking, okay, what is the right legal structure I need? How I start with the registration? What are the permits I need? Do I need to, what type of laws do I need to follow? And municipal, provincial, federal level, do your market research, right? Find out that where are your customers? How are you going to communicate with them? And of course, from the beginning, you need to take into account, you need to be organized. You need to do your bookkeeping from day one, even if you feel you have 2 items on your list, start organizing those because things start growing faster. And then, wow, you have tons to do and no time, right? And while you do all these, you can put it in a business plan. That way you get organized, you have your goals, your priorities, and you can start going into your business. And I may say this sounds like a lot, and this is super quick here, but for example, in our programs, other programs help you navigate all this in an organized way.
Interesting. I particularly like the concept of not falling in love with your idea to the point that you're blind to reality and you go off on a wild goose chase only to realize in the end that it's all been a waste of time. I'm sure reaching out to experts like you and signing up for the Build Your Business program, one of those ways by which you can test the viability of your idea. Now, a question that newcomers sometimes have is this: I've just arrived in Canada. Now, should I be looking for a job first? So my 9 to 5 provides me with a financial buffer while I gradually transition into running the business or my business full time? Or am I to take the leap into the waters of business from the get go after I arrive in Calgary? What do you usually advise the newcomers that come to you for support?
Well, it's again a little bit different for each one, and I maybe talk from my experience. There are 2 key components that are very important before you jump into the water, right? One is your financial capital. So, do I have the capital to start this? Do I have the money to start with my business idea, right? You may don't need all the money you need, but you need something to start with, right? The other piece is your social capital. Do I have a network to support me here? Do I have enough connections? And here in Calgary, we're still a small city and we rely a lot on our connections. Who knows who, how we support each other. So I would recommend, and again, take it with a grain of salt. This is my experience. I would recommend, yes, first, if you can get to know the market a little bit better, maybe you can find a part-time job or even a full-time job and work on your idea in the meantime, to get to know how things work here. When we're new in the country, there are many, many things that are new to us, right? The culture, the way of doing things, the language. So I think it's important to have to understand the market first. And I'll just mention briefly an example. Years ago, I helped a friend with a catering business. I don't know how to cook very well, but I love the idea of just going into business. And some of the successes we had was the big network I had at the time. Because once we launched the business, those friends, those people that knew me, were the ones starting to hire us and having our services. So it's super important to have that network. I will say it's kind of the first, even sometimes more than the actual financial capital, you need that network to support you.
That's pretty important. I think I must have heard something along the lines that if you can't get your friends and family to patronize you, to buy from your business, then maybe you shouldn't even be in business at all. How can you convince or persuade, other people to do the same if you can't get your family to do that? I once came across a dire statistic about how a large percentage of new businesses, I'm talking 70-80% of new businesses, barely make it past the 5-year mark. And these are stats that maybe are even more dire for recent newcomers, who, like you mentioned earlier, have limited understanding of the market in Canada. So what are, some of the common pitfalls that you've seen aspiring immigrant entrepreneurs encounter when starting a business in Calgary, and how can they avoid those pitfalls?
Oh, thank you. That is super important question. And again, talking from my experience and also from our clients' experience, one of the first barriers that we encounter is English level, right? It's a new language for most of us, but also that goes hand in hand with our confidence. We may have a good English level, but sometimes we like confidence into going out, talk to people. So I would say, yes, maybe the language is a barrier, but first of all, you can improve it, right? Second, don't let you stop it. Don't let you be a barrier. I remember when years ago, 15 years ago, I moved to Canada. After 4 years, I said, okay, I'm ready to go. I was with my kids at home and I said, no, I'm ready to start doing something for myself, for my career. And I went to an event. And at that event, I had the chance to speak in front of, there were 350 people. First time for me speaking in English in public. I was terrified. I was red and nervous. And when you feel that your heart is going out of your body. But I said, if I don't do this, why did I come to this event, right? So I did my pitch. I don't remember much what I say. I just know I started with, I'm passionate about this. I believe this. And at that event, at the end, I had the chance to meet the person who became my first client, and he was the representative of a big organization in the Calgary area. And my business started. So yes, I was nervous about my English. I felt I didn't have the confidence, but I had to do it. So go out there and start networking. That is my second point is, again, network from the beginning. Even you feel, as I mentioned, maybe we don't have a local network yet, but we have a network back home. We may have a network internationally. So leverage that network and start meeting people here, in person or online, right? Nowadays, there are different ways to do it. Technology has advanced, so that is an easier way to do it. Another problem is, yes, again, as I mentioned, the financial capital. We may sometimes don't have enough money to start, but not for me, actually, sometimes money is not the big problem, right? Because you can find it. It's more important to have a good idea, to work on that idea, have a goal in mind and make a plan, and you will get the money. And again, build your network. That will help you a lot as well. And don't forget, always I say this, take care of yourself. We need to take care of ourselves, because if we are not okay, our business is not going to be okay. So that is also very important that we tend to forget, because when we move here, of course, we're dealing with settlement. We're dealing with other aspects in our life. So pay attention to those, and again, have a plan in mind, take care of yourself, and then you have a better chance for the business to succeed.
Hmm. A very important point you made about going out there and networking, even if you're not very confident in your English levels just yet, there are resources within the community that can help you develop your, language skills. There are conversation classes that happen at the library, at the Calgary Public Library. And of course, your ethno-cultural community can also be a great starting, point for your networking, whether you're from, Ethiopia, from Colombia, from anywhere across the world. There are usually associations of all your country represented here in Calgary and across Canada that you can join and talk to people who come from the same, who share the same ethnic background or nationality as you, and network with them. So great points there, Bibiana. Another important question that will typically come up for newcomers: how can I know if going into business is the right decision for me?
That's super, like, all the questions you're making are amazing. Like, this is something we really need to think about. And that is like a hard one. Is this for me or not? And sometimes you fill out this personality test and you say, oh, yes, I have 90%. I should be an entrepreneur, right? Maybe you have all the personality traits they mentioned that are the right for a business owner. So you're risk tolerant, you're independent, you're organized, you're a good listener, you're adaptable, resilient, persistent. All these are great, like, personality traits and some skills that we need, right, for to run a business. If you, for example, are a great problem solver, right? But sometimes we feel also, well, I don't have those skills, right? I'm not that independent. I'm not that organized. I need to learn this or that. So again, those personality tests or to go into business don't say much sometimes, because those skills that we need, if we don't have it, we can learn them. Or we can partner with people that have certain personality traits that we don't have, or hire people in our business to help us. I think the most important, a lot of people fixate on the skills, right? But I think more important is to have the right mindset, knowing first that is not an easy journey, but you can do it, right? And it's sometimes a lonely journey. That's why I emphasize a lot in working on yourself to go into business, right? But if you're passionate about something, right, and you find the right reason to do it, you will make it. I love a book that I always recommend to my students and the participants in our program. Is from Michael E. Gerber, and he mentions that we need three personalities or roles when we're going to business. One is the entrepreneur, right? We have the vision, the role that provides that creativity, energy that drive us into business. But we also need the manager, right? It's a pragmatic person or personality who translate that vision into reality through planning and the daily stuff, like the daily task we need to do. And also we have the technician, as he mentioned, is like the person who does things in our business, making a product or providing a service. Sometimes we don't have those three personalities in us. That's why we connect with other people, we hire, we partner, or we learn, right? But you don't need to be all those traits, right? You need to work around it, but it's important from the beginning that you know those are needed, right? If you have a passion for what you do, but you're not organized and you don't get your things, like you don't make a plan, you're going to have problems in the future. Or if you do everything and you burn out yourself, that is also a problem. So take into account all that you need from the beginning, right? And then you, if you decide to go into business, you're more prepared, right? And again, something that I mentioned already several times, remember that before being an entrepreneur, you're a person. You have other needs, other problems. So you need to take care of yourself and then focus on your business. So again, it's not, I would say, having all the information in hand, have a plan will help you in making the right decision.
Okay. I just wanted to say, give a shout out to everyone who's joining us. Aisha, Fariha, Manish, thank you for joining the live conversation. We've been discussing essential tips to help newcomers start their own business in Canada. If you have any questions for us, please feel free to ask them in the comments, and we'll do our very best to get to them and address as many as we can. Now, one of the first things you do in the Build Your Business program is to help the newcomer participants determine their passions, their motivations, their values, and work out their personal branding issues even before you delve into the nitty gritty of their business ideas, and the complex business of entrepreneurship. So why is it important that you take this approach of starting with working on the individuals themselves and not their business ideas?
That is, yeah, that is key. And I actually find it different from other programs. I myself joined other programs years ago. And yeah, usually you start with the business, right? But again, if you personally are not okay, if you don't truly in what you're doing, your business is going to start kind of shaking as well. So that's why for us, it's very, very important we start with you as a person. Then we connect those passions, skills, motivations with your business idea. Because it's important, for us, it's very important for you to get to know your capabilities and also your limitations. Maybe you need to find some strategies or resources to work on what you need to improve. But also you need to know what are your strengths and leverage those, right? You sometimes you don't know the amount of human capital you already have before starting to business. That's why we have a big focus on this personal component first, and then we connect that with your business idea. And I remember even in the first cohort, there was a girl in the program, and at the end of the program, she said, you know what, if we have started with just the startup piece, right? Regulations, a registration, all that, I would probably forgotten why I decided to join like this journey, right? To be an entrepreneur. And she said, I found my true purpose. And now she's pursuing her business idea. So that's why we find it so important to connect those two. And to be honest, sometimes some of our clients are kind of, why are we doing this? I want just let me know how I register. Let me know how I start. But after a while, we just tell them, trust the process, right? Just give us a week, couple of weeks, and then you will start getting into business. But after those couple of weeks, they find out the reason. And it's actually, I have a lot of feedback saying, oh, wow, this was so important. Even people that had businesses back home, they said, oh my gosh, through this, I kind of I'm rethinking my idea and I'm connecting better with what I want. Sometimes they change their idea, they pivot their idea a little bit. So we find it actually very, very important. And we already seeing like the changes that like people are having through this approach.
Hmm. So when we talk about starting a business, people that tend to think of it in the traditional sense of operating, a brick and mortar store. But of course, technology, continues to change the business landscape. And you also have clients in your program who are looking to start e-commerce businesses, internet businesses. And even for those running traditional businesses, technology can be an effective ally in simplifying and fast tracking processes within those businesses. So can you talk a little about that?
Oh, yes, no, and actually, I must say I'm very bad with technology, but I'm learning a lot through this program and connecting businesses to the tech savvies out there. And Nowadays, technology is everywhere. We cannot avoid it. Everything somehow is done through technology, right? Of course, it doesn't replace everything, but it's a tool that we can use. So even if you think, I'm not in the tech business, I have a restaurant, right? Or I have a daycare. So I'm like, why do I need to think about tech? Well, you maybe have a website, you maybe have an app, you may be using a platform, right? Maybe you can improve something in your business through technology. So we always tell our clients, learn about how technology can help you. And here in Calgary, let me tell you, technology is just off the roof, like all the support system for tech businesses or tech enabled business is amazing. There is a lot of organizations, a lot of resources out there. And that's what we say, like you can be a you can enable technology in your business. You don't need to be focus on that. So there are a lot of organizations that will help you, and actually we invite them as guest speakers in our program, or sometimes we go to their events as a group. All the time we're sharing ideas and resources with these organizations in Calgary to connect each individual with the graded. And also, there are a lot of grants right now out there. There is a lot of money to support tech in business. So if you can include technology in your business, you may have some resources available for you, of course, with the right business plan, the right like connections that we help our clients make, and you can succeed in that area. But I will consider to see the innovation piece in tech in any business you have.
Hmm. So that provides a perfect segue into the next question I have for you, which is, what resources are available for newcomer entrepreneurs in Calgary to help them get started, and how can they access them?
Okay, well, the list is extensive. And I encourage you, if you're here or if you're listening later, or if you know someone, please connect with me on LinkedIn, and I will be more than happy to talk to you one-on-one, because there are so many resources, so many areas you should explore. And again, the entrepreneurship ecosystem in Calgary is strong. It's a very supportive ecosystem, and is growing. Every day I learn about a new organization, something new, a new resource. But if you're completely new in the city, for example, I will encourage you, go to the City of Calgary Business Development website, or Calgary Economic Development, the Chamber of Commerce, immigration services organizations like us that have business programs as well. There is Business Link Alberta, Momentum in Calgary, and different organizations in the tech sector. There are many. Just to name a few in Calgary: Innovate Calgary, Catapult the Startups, Platform Calgary, Rainforest Alberta, Calgary Innovation Coalition, and all its partners. So, and I can go on and on. There are so many partners, so many players in the ecosystem in Calgary, and each one provides support and resources. A lot of those resources are free, and there is like events every day. There are different events in different industries, sectors. We just need to research, go out there, start talking to people, start connecting. But again, it's a lot. Sometimes even for me, it's like, oh, I can't catch up. Is this happening? And this tomorrow, today, there are many things that are showing up. So start connecting with people, start following some of these organizations. And again, if you need specific information, connect with me, and I will be happy to tell you what I know. And if I don't know, connect with the right person.
Interesting. So there you have it, a call to action to connect. If you have aspirations to start your own business here in Calgary, reach out to Bibiana. My colleague will share the link to her LinkedIn profile in the comments so that you can connect with her, let her know that you were a part of this live conversation. Now, the Build Your Business program, which you oversee at CCIS, is barely 2 years old, or even barely a year old, in fact. but has been instrumental in supporting around 80 newcomers now at the last count, and growing number, with pursuing their entrepreneurial aspirations in Calgary. One of your participants even had her business featured in the city of Calgary's quarterly newsletter recently. Can you tell us more about how the BYB program works and what types of supports and resources it provides to immigrant entrepreneurs in Calgary?
Oh, yeah, fantastic. Thank you. And please, Bamidele, feel free to stop me, because once I start talking about this program and all that we do, I can go and I just go and go. So, yes, we launched this program in July last year, and it's just growing exponentially. And what I say about, like, what I want to say about this is because it's working. And now the people graduating from the program are telling friends and family and other newcomers, you need to join. And I think it's because, yes, we provide, it's a 10-week program, sorry, to start with, right? Very intensive training program. And yes, we enhance their knowledge, abilities. We provide, of course, information, but the information is out there. You can just go on the internet and find how to start a business in Calgary, and you will have tons of websites. So our program is way more than that just information, right? Is also, is like, for us, it's super important. First, build those connections, right? Help you build your network. So the facilitators and me, we connect you with our own network. Once we get to know you a little bit more, once we get to know your business idea, we'll connect you. And if we don't know, we start meeting people. That's why we bring partners, guest speakers to the program all the time, because every cohort is different. And that is also super important. It's not a cookie cutter program that everybody's going to have exactly the same. Of course, we have an outline, we cover certain topics, we have certain modules that we provide, right, all the information. But based on the people who are in the classroom, we adapt. We invite a different guest speaker, or we go to a different tour, right? We make other connections and we find out, oh no, we need to partner with this or other organization to provide a better service. So that's why what we want to do is help you again with that network, help you building that confidence, right? That we need to start something new in a new country, finding the right connections and the resources in the city, right, for you to succeed. So there are advisors, mentors, organizations, services. There are so many resources out there. And that's why we try to build a deep connection with each one of you. I like to say, now that we have run 5 cohorts, and I say, well, I haven't had like 80 clients. I now have 80 new friends, because personally, I just like to build those connections, and that's the same way our facilitators think. So that's what we're building. And what we really focus on as well is in building this, what we call it, the community in CCIS for newcomer entrepreneurs. So we connect you again with each other as well. So once you finish a cohort, you will start be connected with the cohorts that were previous. And we do events, and we invite them all to different type of social events, and also, of course, networking and professional events. So we start building that community that support each other as well. And for example, I'm happy to see that after, I think it was in cohort 2, after a few months, some of the participants changed their business idea and are actually partnering to create a new business with the new connections they made within the class. So again, it's way more than business for us, right? It's building a new life here in Canada, and business will help you. But it's like, I don't know if I was clear. Again, I get so excited, but that's what we want to do, like help you succeed in different areas, and it happens to be through business in this case.
Mhm. And I like the concept of community. You're not just having people go through the program and then they leave. There's a community of immigrant entrepreneurs, such that newer cohorts, members of the newer cohorts can benefit from the experience and the wisdom of older, graduates of the program, within that same community. That's pretty important. And you also happen to have an amazing group of facilitators and, guest speakers, like you mentioned, who come to the program to share their experience, that they are business owners themselves. And much of what they share isn't just from books, but from their lived experience. You, as the coordinator of the program, also been a successful business owner yourself, and that has sort of impacted the participants of the Build Your Business program, and has thrown up some success stories. You've gone for pitches at the city's innovation hub, and a graduate of your program won the pitch, for instance. So are there success stories that you want to share of new immigrants who have been through your program and achieved their business goals in Calgary?
Oh, yeah, no, thank you. No, and actually, yeah, I will give you a few examples, but we have more and more coming. For example, in the first cohort, Anastasia was she was the first person who joined the program. And she's been the first person to open her business. And actually, she opened her business within those 10 weeks. Yes, she worked a lot. She came to every class. She was focused on her goals, and yeah, she was go, and that, yeah, she was able to open her business within those 10 weeks. So it's possible. It's hard work, but it's possible. And as you mentioned, she was featured by the city of Calgary, because we were collaborating with them, and actually the city of Calgary visit our class every cohort. And she's doing very well. Actually, she has tons of clients at the moment. If you want to book a service with her, you need to do it way in advance, because she's busy. And now she's thinking, okay, I need to improve my business plan, because I need to grow. So she's already in that stage, even after a year. But we also have, yes, another girl in the fourth cohort who joined another program. Again, once we get to know you, we connect you, right, with other resources. So we advise her, okay, there is this program, you want to connect with them. She joined the program, they had a pitch competition, and she won the pitch competition. Right now, thanks to the people and the mentors that she met, she's connected with organizations to help her find more resources to launch her business. I just heard from another client that he's very close, I think, a couple of weeks to launch his tourism business. So stay tuned, because I told him, once you give me permission, I will advertise it. Myself, I'm in the tourism business, so I'm super excited about that one as well. And I don't know, there are, like, every day, again, because we connect on a personal level, we feel that are more and more examples and people getting excited. And I want to share something with you as well. Even if you don't open your business, right? Even if you, after this program, you say, you know what, maybe this is not the path for me, that's okay. We're finding that through this program, we're making a difference in your life. And I don't say that myself. I actually, in the last cohort, like, we have many feedback like this through the program. But I remember clearly in the last cohort, a girl also mentioned, they said, I'm not sure, I'm actually trying, I have here the quote, I'm not sure if I'm going to start my business or not, but this program already changed my life. And we were just with the facilitator. That's why we are here for, right? To make a positive impact. Again, this program is just the pathway, but it could be in different areas. So for us, that is also a success.
Hmm. And that's a very important lesson, because not everyone is built for entrepreneurship. But the lessons you learn, for instance, from a program like ours, could help you in entrepreneurship. Working with a company, the lessons you learn, the skills you develop, can be valuable assets. Um, Thanks again. I'm trying to look here if we have any questions from a live audience, but it seems everything you shared, Bibiana, was very clear, and no one appears to have a question for you. But the good thing is you can always reach out to Bibiana. Her LinkedIn profile is in the comments. We've also shared a link to the website, for the Build Your Business Newcomer Entrepreneur Program. So if you'd like to learn more about eligibility requirements and what you can hope to benefit from this program, please be sure to visit that website. Thanks to everyone who joined us for this live conversation. We hope you gained some valuable insights from the discussion to help you get started on your entrepreneurship journey. I want to especially thank Bibiana, a program coordinator for Build Your Business Newcomer Entrepreneurship Program, for taking the time out of her busy schedule to talk to us about her work with newcomer entrepreneurs. Thank you, Bibiana.
Oh, thank you so much, Bamidele, and thank you for people that join us and for people that couldn't join us now, if you're listening later. As you see, I'm super passionate about this. So I just love to explore ideas and help you in any way I can, connect you with the right people and resources. I call myself, and people call me, a connector. That's what I do, and that's what I love to do. So yes, if you want to reach out to me and you want to have a coffee for a conversation and meet online, please feel free to do it, and I will be more than happy to chat about your idea.
That's a great note on which to sign up, Bibiana. Finally, would like to remind you that CCIS is committed to supporting newcomers to Calgary and surrounding areas through various programs and services. So if you're in need of employment assistance, or you need someone to assist you with fine-tuning your ideas, you want to venture into business, or you have any questions about the resources that are available to you in the city, please don't hesitate to contact us. My colleague will be leaving the phone number you can call, or you can reach us at, and the email address you can reach us at in the comments. And just a note to let you know that we're also offering drop-in settlement services at the Calgary Central Library on Mondays and Wednesdays between 1 p.m. and 7 p.m. Counselors will be available to address all your questions about life in Calgary, and it's the settlement desk on the third floor at the Central Library, Mondays and Wednesdays, 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. It's the settlement desk on the third floor at the Central Library. To everyone who's joined us live again, and everyone who will be seeing us later, thank you for watching. I'd like to thank my colleagues, Khalid Akim and Mason Ismail, for their technical assistance throughout this live conversation. We look forward to connecting with you soon as we have more insightful and exciting live conversations coming your way soon. Thank you.